Hey guys, Johnny here. So today's video is gonna be on, if you see my thumbnail, we're gonna review the first out of the three new cars I dropped, and that is VVD. I've played 20 games with him, just to show how he is. I've tried him on possession, and I've tried him on quick counter. I haven't tried him on long ball counter yet, but yeah. So let's get straight into the video. I'd say, I guess people want to know, is he good? Is he better than any of the other Van Dijks? I think he is. I'd say he is I'd say if you're first of all, let me explain the three play styles which most people use: long ball counter, quick counter, and possession, right? Those are the main three. I'd say if you're on long ball counter, I think he might be the perfect centre back for you, because it's a lot of AI defending and he tends to drop back a lot more than he does on the quick counter and possession. So it gives you time to aura defend, if that makes sense. So you can jockey a lot more than possession and quick counter. I'm just gonna show you some clips about what I mean by this. So this is I'll just go to, okay. So this is me using Van Dijk on possession. I'd say Van Dijk, the AI seems to really read the passes better than most. If you notice here, do you see how Van Dijk on possession always seems to be in between the man and the ball? I've noticed that a lot. So his AI seems to be really good in terms of positioning when in between. He seems to position himself in between the ball and the player very well, as you see here. And he's very good at, I'd say, initiating a counter attack. Another clip is here. Again, he wins headers. But I will say, I have noticed that his headers, I feel like he needs a bit more jumping. I gave my Van Dijk 89. I feel like he might need 90 plus, I think, just to really enjoy Van Dijk. And this is another example of what I think Van Dijk is very good at compared to other defenders, is his ability to put himself between the player and the ball. What I'd say is, if you really want to utilize this Van Dijk in an aggressive way, I'd suggest putting him close to the player receiving it. And for some reason, I think he overrides he destroys your input. Like, he takes priority when it comes to intercepting. As you can see, like, it's just really nice. Again, this is on possession. I'm going to show you. Look, do you see his position? This is what I'm talking about. He tends to position himself between the ball and the man. He's always in between. He's never like behind or in front on possession. This is what I've noticed. As I mentioned before, long ball counter, they might really love this Van Dijk because he'd be further back compared to possession players, where he steps in between the player and the ball. So he reads the game very well on possession. I've noticed that. And again, you can see we're able to break out. Again, this is, and I have noticed as well on the kickoff, again, he always seems to position himself between the player and the ball. So he tends to leave the other defender to mark the runs, whereas he just sits in between a defender. Again, as you can see here, he's left Stones to track the run, but as you can see, he's positioned himself in between Mbappe and Messi. So he's covering that gap while Stones marks Mbappe. And as you see, again, in between the ball and the player, he's in between His positioning on possession was really nice. Again, as you can see, like, you lose the ball and look at where he is. You see, again, he positions himself in between the ball and the man. He's always tight to the man, but he knows when to step up. I've noticed that on possession. So it seems to be a mixture of I'd say he's a hybrid destroyer / build-up centre-back. Maybe because of the high aggression, he tends to step up more. Again, he's very good in the air, but I do suggest getting his jump into at least 90. I feel like 89 for me could be better. Again, as you see here, against Mbappe, but this could just be the game, right? Mbappe's positioned himself in a good way to hold off Van Dijk, which I don't think should be the case. And again, this is why I think the fortress comes into play. Because we're winning by the second half, you can see how more aggressive my Van Dijk is when trying to intercept. And I've noticed again, when he intercepts as well, the ball is literally stuck to his foot. So it's not like he intercepts and the ball is loose. He keeps the ball close to him at all times. That's what I've noticed. This is another example of me reading. So as you can see, I always position myself between the ball and the person. And again, nice tackle. As I mentioned before, this Van Dijk, it seems to be, I think with defending in general, it's more rewarding to manually tackle, especially with someone like Van Dijk, because when you press the tackle button, you take priority when it comes to ball control. So the AI of the other opponent can't control the ball, but you can tackle. I don't know why it's like that. Okay, now this is when I switch to quick counter for another game, just to check out his positioning. So again, what I've noticed is on quick counter again, he kind of does the same job like he does in possession. He steps up in between the man and the ball. Another example, as you can see here, I'm holding the line and he intercepts as well. Like, he is, for me, like, if you want to manually control a centre back, Van Dijk is so fun to use. I feel like his jockey is so quick in terms of switching from walking to sprinting, from match up to not match up. I feel like he's very good. This is another example. So what I do here is I jockey and then he cuts it. I'm expecting him to cut inside, but for some reason the game's delayed. So what I do is I hit instantly, when he cuts inside, I instantly hit the slide tackle button, and look how fast he recovers after doing the slide tackle. He recovers so quick. I do a slide tackle, bang, get up quick, and it's a foul, but he's so quick at getting up. This is another example, and this is what I've noticed, right? With Van Dijk, there's two ways to defend. It's either one, you're one step ahead of your opponent where you anticipate where he's going to be, and I think for me that is the best way to play Van Dijk, is to be between you and between the ball and the player. I think that's where he shines the most. But then obviously there's another way of just jockeying backwards until you're comfortable attempting a tackle. As you can see, I read the game wrong and I tried to run in and I missed the tackle. But look how quick Van Dijk gets back here. When we is it this one? It might be this one. Yeah. So this is another example of why I say Van Dijk is like a hybrid between destroyer and build up. Because look how high he is. He takes priority going forward on my team. I don't know why, but he does. But look how quick he is to get back. Like, it's already back. And then pay attention. Look at this. See, he's already back. This is another example of me tracking back with Van Dijk, and I think this is his specialty. When the ball is being whipped in and there's and it's way over his head, I think he's the best at this. Like, he just positions himself every time to win the header. And I feel like he's got some maybe like a nice animation. But look how quick I am. That's Martinelli and Mbappe, and look how quick I'm faster than both of them. Like he might be my favorite defender to use in terms of manually defending. But obviously, he works both ways. You can just jockey with him, and I think this is another example of him stopping kickoff, as you can see. Boom! Like when he tackles, it's so nice. Like he gets the ball, and there's no room for like oh, I tackled you, but how do you still have the ball kind of thing. I feel like it's glued to his foot. I've noticed that. But then again, I'm tackling myself, so I don't know. I use match up and tackle at the same time, so yeah. As you can see again, same clip, just position myself between the ball. But yeah. So as I mentioned before, I think for me, if I was to retrain him, I'd probably take off the acceleration. I know it gives him balance, but for me, I've noticed on quick counter especially, and sometimes other playstyles, because his attack awareness is above 60, normally I think his attack awareness is in the 40s, but I've noticed that with the high attack awareness, he steps up quite a bit, which is kind of what I want, but at the same time, it can be very annoying to do sometimes. So I might take the acceleration down, and I definitely want to put more into physical contact and jumping, because I just feel like he's great, but I feel like that he's missing something, you know? And I feel like it's the jumping and physical contact that could be more. Maybe take off the acceleration and put the 4 points into jumping to get to 91, I think, and 97 physical contact. So with the 4 marrow, it should go to 99 physical contact. But if you don't want to put more into contact, you could put more into the defending to get the tackling to 100 and to get maybe the defensive awareness to 99 or something like that. But yeah, for me, if I had to give, of all the CBs I've used, position CBs. Of all the CBs I have, just make sure there's nothing else. I've got Puyo. I've used the other ones like the Turams. I've used them and stuff. I've used Saliba as well. I think he's very similar to Saliba, if I'm being honest. The two of them are very similar, but where Van Dijk shines over Saliba is how the ball sticks to his foot when attempting a tackle, and the way he positions himself between the ball and the player. But yeah, if I had to give VVD a score, and that's to mention, but what I will say is, if you're leading by half time, like this might be the best centre back in the game, in my being honest. Like his reaction just goes up a different breed. Like his interceptions are more aggressive. Like he lunges more for tackles and stuff like that. I've noticed that. But yeah, I'd say if I was to give this guy a score out of 10, I'd definitely give him like a solid 8.5, I think. I think that's as I've built him right now. You could take off the acceleration, as I mentioned, just to get the attack awareness down. I think 60 is quite high for a centre back, but I kind of do like it because I like to stick close to my player, and I use him to initiate the attack as well sometimes. So I'm okay with it, but I do wish it was a bit lower. But yeah, I mean, if you build him with more jumping and maybe 2 less pace and then more defending, I reckon this could be a 9 out of 10. But yeah, so far for me, I think he's been my favourite CB, most fun centre back to use, I'd say, so far. And I've used quite a lot of centre backs. Maldini is really good as well. I think he's close as well. But for me, like, when I use Van Dijk, like, I can tell the person I'm facing doesn't want the smoke. He's very fun to use, and his switch from matchup to releasing matchup is like one of the best I use. Maybe like a new kind of jockey. It's nice. But yeah, definitely one of the fun centre backs to use. Definitely the best. I say definitely the best build up CB we have in the game, in my opinion. But then, like I said, other people might think otherwise. That's their opinion. But for me, this is definitely the best build up CB in the game. I can't really complain. Skills, I definitely want to give him. I definitely want to give him one touch pass, weighted pass. Through passing is up to you. Just because of the form, it's B form right now, but sometimes it can be a C form. I'd probably add super sub as well, just to also make him even more insane with the fortress. Because fortress, if you're leading by halftime, you could sub him on with the fortress, and then plus super sub, it might be even crazier. So you could probably do that as well. And yeah, I think that's it really. I think any other skill was more like and low lofted pass. I'd probably go for that, just to make him even more insane. But yeah, and soul control. If you want to add soul control to do knock-ons, be my guest. But definitely one of my favorite CBs. So yeah, stay tuned and take care. Peace.